As most of you know, my name is Luann Walker. I live in Crystal Beach, Ontario, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm a very proud member of the Lac La Ronge Indian Band Treaty 6 in Lac La Ronge, Saskatchewan. When I was trying to put my thoughts down in writing to describe this year, that was, wow, what a busy year we had. Really busy. We had a year of change, growth, learning, and a fair share of challenges. We had to make some tough decisions. We celebrated some meaningful successes, but we also experienced some setbacks. Through it all, the one thing that came clear to me was that we actually were moving forward in a really positive way. And I hope you agree this center needed that. Over the past 12 months, I've had the pleasure of getting to know a lot of you. And as I look out over the room tonight, I know there's many more that I need to meet and chat with. So I look forward to that. But what stands out most to me is the strength of this community and the commitment that you make to this center. And your presence here tonight sends a powerful message. It tells us that you care deeply about this center and what happens here. So thank you for that. This center is more than a facility. When I see everything that happens here, the programs, the families, all the assistance and the help, and the beautiful things that are, I realize what a remarkable job we are doing. I'm proud of the progress that we've made, and I'm even more excited about what lies ahead. We're on a strong path forward, and with your continued support, we're going to build a center that serves us today and for many generations. Before I get into the good stuff, because I know you want an update on a lot of the things that have happened over the last year, I just want to acknowledge and introduce our board members. So this is an exceptional group of women. Yeah, it's all women. And they give their time and their energy and their expertise to help serve this community and this center. Susan Fike is not here tonight, but Susan is one of the most compassionate people I think I have ever met. She has a heart for people and a heart for our culture, and she brings a steady, balanced perspective to the board. Her empathy is really a guiding light. Michelle Bomberry, wave Michelle. She has a strong background in education. She's got a deep connection to our community. And Michelle is a really strategic thinker. She's got an eye for detail and provides a consistent, thoughtful voice at the board table. Then we've got Leslie Ellison, Ms. Leslie. She is our treasurer. Leslie brings sharp analytical skills and attention to detail to the table. She never hesitates to speak up. And I often say she acts as our voice of reason. We have Carla Angelino, who is our vice president. Carla couldn't be here tonight. She had another event to go to. She brings in a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fairness and dedication to the role that she plays. She advocates fiercely for what's right, and she always puts the center first. And then we've got Kim Schut, our efficient secretary. Retired RN, which makes her really good at taking notes and reading my crazy text messages that don't make sense. She goes, I can read doctor's writing, I can read your text. Anyway, she's incredibly resourceful. We often call her our private investigator because she's great for digging up details and doing research that we need. And she's also very generous with her time. So all of these women bring good hearts and good minds to the table. And being a board member isn't always easy. We don't always agree, nor should we. But we do respect each other, and we respect the process. If we don't have the answers, we're going to find them. Most importantly, we're functioning as a team. We're operating transparently and inclusively. We have nothing to hide. There's no negativity on our board. There's no power trips. There's no personal agenda. There's no disengagement. We each understand the focus must be in the best interest of our center. So our meetings are posted on Facebook. I hope you've seen them. We have open them up so that members can come and attend. And thank you for those that are here. I know I see Diane and Gordon, a few that have come to the meetings. We're committed to conducting ourselves honorably, and we hope that you will attend the meetings to observe. And you can always email feedback or ideas to president@fenfc.org. Very importantly, I do want to say this, and Geralda touched on it a little bit earlier. I'm going to knock this podium over, I better stop. As a board, we acknowledge that most of our past year has been spent addressing long-standing issues. While we didn't create these problems, we fully accept it's our responsibility to resolve them. So this center is our top priority, and when we keep focusing on this goal, we will continue to make progress. And we have accomplished a lot in the last 10 months. And there's several reasons for being successful and continuing. One is the dedicated staff that we hear, and I know most of the staff is here tonight. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The staff here is the heart and soul of this center. Your dedication, your strength have carried this organization through many difficult times, but you show up with compassion and commitment, and we sincerely thank you very much. Our management team, to Geralda, such a smart lady, thank you for stepping up again as our interim executive director. We really appreciate your strong leadership during this time, and it's been a time of transition, so it's been very invaluable to us. And to Christina and Karen, I know Karen's not here tonight, we really appreciate your consistent hard work and commitment. On behalf of the board, we appreciate all of you deeply. I'm sure the community does as well. To our community members, many of you and your families have been connected to this center from the very beginning. Your involvement and support have been foundational, and most importantly, you stepped up and took action to correct past issues. So your actions helped create meaningful change, and your commitment continues to fuel our progress. So thank you for standing with us and holding us accountable. But there's still work to do. And I want to walk you through some of the key issues and things that we dealt with this past year. So following the 2024 AGM, several concerns were brought forward, and in response to a community petition, a special members meeting was held in August of last year. It was an emotional but necessary meeting that brought several important issues to light, many of which we worked to address, and several are still a work in progress. So we're just going to walk through each one of them with you. We had some legal issues, and we are not able to comment on them. We're going to follow our lawyer's advice that we are bound by confidentiality, so we're going to use an abundance of caution, and we can't discuss them. I will say that as a board, these issues really make us sad because they take away from funds that are meant for programs for you and I, for our families, and well, that's all I'm going to say. We had a lateral violence and complaint policy, and that was brought up last year. A lateral kindness workshop was held in October for the staff. There was full participation, and it did help to raise awareness. It built mutual understanding and initiated a more respectful and collaborative environment. Our complaint policy was reviewed and reaffirmed, applying equally to staff, board, and community. So there is now a written process in place with clear steps, resolution, and we are going to commit to follow this policy at all times. The police investigation on the fraud case from last year, this has been a very long, drawn-out process. If we could have sped it up, we would, but it was just absolutely slow. But an arrest was made, charges laid, and the court proceedings have begun. It's an ongoing process. You can look this information up online. It is public information, and follow the case. Founding member recognition. A motion was was passed last year at the special members meeting to recognize founding members, and we have delayed it due to handling some other urgent matters, but we have started to work on it now, and we just want you to know that we want it to be done respectfully and accurately. So I want to assure you it has not been forgotten. It's still on our to-do list. Some of you will know already, maybe most of you know, that the community room upstairs behind the reception area is no longer a boardroom. It's now a space for community members to meet, enjoy coffee, snacks, watch TV, use the computer, and I love seeing members using this space when I come into the center. I just want to talk a little bit about the board transition and changes that we had. From July to September of last year, there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of flexion board members. As a center, there were serious challenges. I'll try to talk loud. Is that working? I keep leaning on a podium. We're going to have a disaster here in a minute. I got to stop doing that. Okay, so board transition and challenges. From July to September, there was a lot of uncertainty and fluctuation with board members, and as a center, we were facing some serious challenges. The absence of an executive director and a significantly reduced board made it difficult to move forward effectively. We did have a community member who stepped up and accepted an appointment as an interim board member so we could maintain quorum and be functional. And then by October, the board had restabilized with new members, and we were able to refocus on some of the priorities. An update on the Winterstein Foundation. Last year, at the Foundation's request, the center withdrew from all involvement. The last communication we had from them was in October of 2024. I can tell you we do not know what the status is. I have no further information. Membership and ethics. In November, the board completed the OFIFC orientation. Roles and responsibilities were defined, so we knew what we were supposed to be doing and when. And a further 2-day in-depth board training is scheduled next month, July 12th and 13th, for all board members. It's 2 days. In December, we recommitted our code of ethics as stated in our bylaws. All board, all staff, and all community members are expected to follow it. And you will find 2 copies in your AGM package, and we ask that you sign your membership application and 1 copy of the Code of Ethics as part of your membership agreement. For strategic planning and projects, we have several repairs and upgrades to the building that have been made and need to be made. We had safety rails installed at the ramp on the rear entrance. We've had driveway repairs. A roof repair over the main entrance is pending. Plus additional roof repairs are being voted on now since there is some leakage. Several offices have been painted and repurposed. And a health and safety committee was reestablished, and all inspections passed. And I have to say, great job, Melissa, Jim, Sean, bylaw updates. So we formed a bylaw committee. We had 2 meetings so far, and our lawyer is preparing updates for us before we call a special bylaw meeting in the near future. In the interim, as you know, we're using bylaw number 2. And this is a priority to us. We want to get this taken care of. This next little bit, I want to make sure that I emphasize how important it is. It's approval limits and payable procedures. So rigorous protocols have been in place following the fraud discovery last year. And there are now several checkpoints involving approving requisitions for payment. All expenditures are reviewed independently by 2 board members before we sign off. And that means each of us look at it separately.
The second one doesn't sign off just because the first guy did. We want to make sure that we go over them with a fine-tooth comb. Graduated approval limits are now in place, with higher cost items requiring multiple quotes and dual approvals by the executive director and the board. And very importantly, both the board and the ED want to ensure that our finances are monitored extremely closely. So, for lack of saying it any better, we're watching it like a hawk. We did have a change in auditors last year, and that was because the original auditors, Durwood, Jones, and Bardwell, had downsized, so they referred us to Baker Tilly Niagara, and that's who you heard give the report this evening. Hiring a new staff. After over a year of unfilled vacancies, we're pleased to report that 5 positions have been filled in the last 4 months. And I want to take just a moment to acknowledge the 5 new staff members. We have Chris Shawano, who gave the beautiful opening tonight, Mark Chindemi, Taylor Thomas, Christy Wilson, and Madison Boucher. And as a board, we're always asking, how are they doing? How are they doing? And we hear very positive things. So we're glad to hear that and glad that they're doing a really good job. There are remaining vacancies, and so we are actively recruiting for those. The hiring itself is now following a shared process through proper sources, and for now, the executive director is removed from this responsibility. As well, the interim executive director, has been working on her succession plan, and the board will be working on this project in the next few months. So we have some tentative timelines on that project. Performance assessments. At the board's request, performance reviews will be commencing shortly. The goal is all assessments will be completed by the middle of September, this quarter. This will support personal development, acknowledge individual contribution, and help to ensure alignment with our organizational values and goals. Great care is being taken to develop these. We want it to be a positive and validating experience. And finally, I just want to talk a little bit about board responsibilities and expectations. There's currently 4 board positions open tonight, and nominations will be accepted. Serving on the board of directors is a significant commitment of personal time and skills. They're volunteer positions, and we feel it would be irresponsible if we did not set some realistic expectations. Our board meets on the 3rd Tuesday of every month. Our board meetings last 2.5 to 3 hours. There are subcommittees for finance, personnel, and membership, as well as including committee work with places like Niagara Health, Region of Niagara, the Town of Fort Erie. Plus there's always 2 delegates generally attending the regional OFIFC board meetings, which are in Toronto, and then of course they have their AGM, which is in Kingston this year. 2 of us will be going to that. We look after regular emails and correspondence that often have to be reviewed before another board meeting happens. And I just want to say we're always happy to welcome new board members who are ready to get involved and make a difference. While previous board or business experience is certainly helpful, it's your willingness to contribute that's of great importance. So as we look ahead, we hope to add members with backgrounds in areas like accounting, human resources, just business skills that can really help strengthen our board. This is meaningful and rewarding work, and there is a place for you at the table, so we would love to have you join us if you're thinking of that. This board recognizes there are many tasks still ahead. We know that work takes a lot of time, care, and collective effort. But I just want to close by reaffirming that real progress is being made. We're on a healthier, stronger path forward. And finally, I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who has supported us this year. Thank you for your strength and for your courage and your commitment to this center. So let's all work together for a stronger tomorrow.